Hello and welcome back to the Slipstream Sisters podcast. We're your hosts, Kelsey Ray,
Carson,
and Kynley.
And we have a lot of things to cover over the past couple of weeks, which includes China Grand Prix, Australian Grand Prix, obviously Drive to Survive dropped, all of the things. We're just going to jump right into it, starting with the Australian Grand Prix, which obviously was the first time seeing these cars on track, seeing them race. What were kind of y'all's thoughts throughout the entirety of this chaos that was a Grand Prix?
Yes, so I think off the bat, what we expected was that there's going to be a lot of technical components to this, and Australian Grand Prix delivered in that way with how the cars responded. So lots of technicalities, and keyword I feel like that is included with this is fragility. Cars are fragile. These cars are fragile to a certain extent because, as we know, there's just a lot of chaos that was involved with that. That also transitioned into China as well, which we'll get to later. But I do think it all continues to come back to the battery and getting enough energy into it being crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting to me to watch the strategy in regards to the battery and the boosts and like when they use them and when they don't use them, because that's something I was still kind of trying to figure out watching it on the track. Because like Kimi, I don't remember, maybe it was a sprint race. Was it the sprint race where he didn't get a jump start because his battery, it wouldn't allow him to boost, so he didn't have a boost at the start of the race. So I'm still kind of figuring out, I guess, the strategies that are in place when it comes to the battery and when they get to use their boost and when they don't, and how it drains the battery and how it doesn't. So that was really interesting to watch. I mean, obviously Mercedes has a great car, slay the day, point for Kynley. However, watching like Red Bull struggle was also very interesting.
My whole thing is, like, I understand that on the engineering side of things, this can be seen as, like, really frustrating for the drivers, the engineers, but, like, selfishly, as a fan, it has been really fun to watch. Like, being able to see them compete and go back and forth, like, that's nice to see, but obviously, like, on the other side of things, like, we know that it's just a battery exchange of, like, who gets the boost and who doesn't, and it's just, like, the back and forth. But specifically, like, in Australia, it was just so fun. Like, I mean, that was, like, one race that, like, I truly was, like, locked in on everything the entire time. And so I think the racing component of it is back. It's just the engineering and the technicality side is obviously still a work in progress, as we are only 2 Grand Prix and a sprint race into the season. So
it's also interesting watching, you've got Max Verstappen on one side and Lewis Hamilton on the other, and Max Verstappen is like, this is Mario Kart, and then you have Lewis Hamilton who's like, this is the most fun racing I've done in years.
That was Char.
Was it?
Yes.
Wait, no, which one said which? Because I thought Verstappen was the one that said it was like Mario Kart, and then Lewis said it was the most fun racing.
No, Char said it was like Mario Kart, and Lewis said it was like, because Char has it in his steering wheel. He can play the little game.
Yes, but I think Verstappen said something about it too.
He probably did, but I know the Mario Kart thing was Char.
Okay, well, maybe I'm thinking of Verstappen being like, this isn't real racing or something like that. Whereas, like, on the other end, you have Lewis.
Max did say something that it's, like, not real racing.
Regardless, though, the commentary, like, because they talk about it with Sky Sports, too, like, about it being the Mario mushroom, of course. Like, but what I think and what's fun about it is when they add how the car is built with, obviously, the battery component tied into the mix, because then when you have, and I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but then it's like, it's not always the battery. Like, the battery obviously is so crucial this year, but then you have, the technical driving of Lewis overtaking at turn 8 twice during the China Grand Prix. And it's like, that was not because of the battery. Like, that wasn't a classic, like, boost moment to it, you know? And the other thing, too, is it's like, they can't just, we get this surge of 420 kilowatts, like, and magically we're able to maintain the rest of the lap. Like, it's like, okay, they're not going to be able to maintain or try to pull off a fastest lap by boom, 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 mushroom.
Right.
So I'm like, the blend is just, like you said, Kelsey, so fun from a viewership side of things, where it's like there is such a mix from the fan component of like, what's going on with all the regulation? And then also like, oh my gosh, like we have a Ferrari, like we have both Ferraris going boom, 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 like within Australian Grand Prix. Like Dad and I, in those first few laps, were like, this is insane. And Mom's like jumping up because she's like, this is real racing now, you know? Like,
of course. She goes like all NASCAR.
Real racing for Mom was freaking the Kentucky Derby. She watches those horses go around the track, and she's like, now that's some real racing.
Hey, no hate on the Kentucky Derby.
no hate.
No hate. I love the Derby.
Can I get a go-kart? Anyway.
No balls.
That has nothing to do with the Kentucky Derby.
Nah, but it's southern. We south of the Mason-Dixon line.
I'm screaming.
I'm pretty sure Knoxville is not south of the Mason-Dixon line, is it? I actually don't know where the Mason-Dixon line is.
I thought it was somewhere near Alabama, but okay.
The notes that I took, I don't think I presently have it on me, but I'm doing an F1 journal, where I'm like, it's like an F1 bullet journal. So I'm like writing and like designing all these things, whatever. And I tried taking notes in it for Australia, and I gave myself a box that was like maybe like that big. And I got like, I don't know, maybe 2 laps into the race, and I was like, okay, we can't do this. So I went to my notes app, and I have like a whole thing. I think I sent some of it to y'all.
Yes. Read it through, girl. Read it through.
Okay. I will have to censor some of it.
Just beep. You're like, Donna, beep. Lewis, beep. Hamilton.
So I started this probably around like, maybe like the 12th lap or something. And I think what I've said the entire off season was Fernando Alonso WDC. And around that lap or so, Fernando Alonso DNF'd. So the first note that I have at the top of this says, no Fernando Alonso WDC.
Sad.
With like the little like you know, like the little dash faced emoji. Yeah.
Like this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yes, exactly.
Precisely that one.
The next one was, holy Charles Leclerc, married life looks good on you.
Yes, it totally does. It looks so good on him. Oh my gosh.
I was like, sir, who would have thought? Who would have thought being a husband was going to make you a good, better driver?
He got that magical little ring on him.
Ooh. Right.
Special powers. Like my whale tail. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I'm not going to go through all of these because there's a lot. This is the last 2 that are specifically about Ferrari, which is Lewis Hamilton, the man that you are, which was like that 3-car overtake of like them going around that one turn.
Cinema.
Oh my gosh.
Cinema.
I think I sat there and was like,
He's back.
That is hot. And then like immediately after that, like I'm like sitting there watching, and Ferrari doesn't know what to do for their pit strategy. So then immediately under that, I have Ferrari strategy will always be trash. So car looks great, drivers look great, pit crew looks great. Our pit wall, questionable for sure.
Your notes kind of remind me of my like book annotations. It's like in my Lord of the Rings books. Like my Lord of the Rings books are all like beautifully annotated, but the annotations are just like Aragorn does something, and then in the side I'm like, Daddy. Frodo slays the day. Like they're not academic annotations at all.
Right.
She's like, I took notes on the race, but they're just like Lewis Hamilton is being hot.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, no, of course. No, okay, I guess it's more commentary if we want to be specific.
Semantics.
This one, hot take of the day. I can't do George Russell dominance. I'm scared of it. I can do Kimi and Toto. And I wrote that on lap 52.
I was sitting there like, Georgie for the win.
And George Russell is slowly but surely moving down my list of drivers
The diva
that I like.
himself.
No, precisely.
I don't care what anybody says. I love Georgie. I love him.
Yes,
My little British diva. What?
Your cutie little boyfriend likes him too.
Yeah, and
So-
it's because my boyfriend is also a diva. He is just like George
I
Russell.
believe that.
So
It makes so much sense. But one thing's for certain, you guys, after this race, as expected, Mercedes dominance was confirmed.
Oh, for sure.
good day to be me.
It's a good day to be you, Puka. That's for sure. Because, wow.
Yeah. Can I talk about my whale tail necklace now?
2 seconds, because we have to bring attention. When Carson and I were in New York, we were talking about this, but we have to bring attention to the fact that Oscar Piastri has not seen a single race this year. And Lando Norris didn't race last weekend. Carson,
Tough day to be
how
a
we feeling over there?
I have more thoughts about the papaya heartache. This is me in mourning.
If you guys are listening only, she has put the hood of her black Lando Norris hoodie over her eyeballs. So she's
No, it's been
grieving.
so dramatic to see the shift of like Lando being on top, like literally being world champion, and
Guys, I literally have my LN1 sweatshirt on. I am living in the past, unfortunately.
I will say this is why you don't change your number. It's bad luck.
I know. I still am upset about it.
honestly, I don't know. I feel like Lewis Hamilton kind of got to a point where he was like, yeah, I can take my chances if I'm going to keep this number or not. Like, he could have taken one and didn't. But, like, I think Lando kind of knew that that might be his only chance ever to have the option to take the number one. I would have taken it.
I think
sure.
you're completely right, Kels. I feel like that was
Like
absolutely
heading
better
into a
than
new season
sure.
with like new regulations, like yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
For
for
sure.
sure.
So am I just the only one that's like super sentimental about numbers? Like my first soccer number was a 6, and like till the end of my days, if I have to pick a jersey number, like that's probably what it's gonna be. Like
Yeah, but that's a jersey number. This is like a world championship. Like, I am the best driver in the entire world.
yeah, and 4 was a sick
And
number.
nobody
for it.
else can have my number. Yeah, I would take it.
I get nostalgic with the numbers too, but yeah, I do think like the opportunity for him to have a transition switch was there. Also, I do have to say, you guys know how I feel about good old Oscar, but I definitely was devastated about him not being able to start at his home race. Like, that's gutting for any driver.
Oh, yeah,
But-
absolutely.
Like, of course, right? But has anyone else noticed? Lando is just so at ease at the moment. Like, obviously there's some frustration, but Oscar would be more of the one where, like, I almost feel twice as bad because, last year was obviously them being Constructors' Championship 2024 and then having such a good start and strong season through 2025. It's like that was the year to make it happen. And so Oscar's like, okay, you have the double whammy of, okay, I'm not starting at my home race or the beginning of the season, and we're having tech issues with the car and we can't find our rhythm there. Whereas Lando's like, I got my WDC, like I'm chilling, When they interviewed him post China, and he's like, it just wouldn't turn on. Like, that was literally him just being like, the car just wouldn't turn on. I'm like, this kid is so, he's, there's frustrating components, but he's just so much more mellow.
I think he's just appreciating being a driver. I think last season was really hard for him mentally, and so I think he's potential. I mean, I think there's frustrating parts of it, obviously, because he just went from being on top of the world to
Of course.
not even like starting a race. But at the same time, like, I like love the drivers ish. Sorry, Oscar. But like, Zach Brown honestly freaking deserves it. He's so annoying. Hate to say it.
I know he has been. There's been
I
a couple
used to
things
love
surrounding his
him.
commentary. Yeah,
Like, I
I know.
used to love him. Like, as a team principal, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I like this American that is doing well in this European sport. And then he... Is this the world champion hotline? Oh, bother. Like,
I know.
and there's just stuff like that. And the way he's been arguing and picking on Red Bull, it has just been super frustrating. Um, and so I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. Just a little bit of humble pie, just a teensy
For
tiny
sure.
bit.
Yeah.
Keep it clean, because sometimes some of the commentary that comes with that, especially with like the history with Red Bull, especially with Christian Horner, with he was when he was still there, and some of that's all good and fun and fair play, but other times it's like, Zach, just shh, just
Right.
I mean, I do think just to agree with you guys, I think the humble pie is a good thing, but I think that's what they're getting dished out right now. It's like you bragged a whole lot, you talked such a big game, and now your cars won't start. Yikes! I do feel for Oscar Piastri, which I think it takes a lot for me to feel badly for drivers that I'm not like big fans of, but I did feel bad for him too because just like you said, Carson, he doesn't have the world champion under his belt. It was such a close race last year and he had it in his fingertips and then he lost it, and so this was his year to be like, I'm gonna go for it, and now his car won't drive the track. So I do feel bad about that, but I agree that I think Lando's kind of just like vibes, which is funny.
And Kelsey's right. Like, of course, there's that frustrating component. You want to be racing. Like nobody, even as a fan, like we want to see good, strong racing taking place. We want to see them fighting for position and points and whatnot. And so, like across the board, it's like we want to see them race. Like we want them in the action. But I think even it's interesting from like the technical side, like reflecting on with Oscar's car, because it, there's so many cases where you're like, okay, how in the why is this taking place? And this can transfer over to several cars, especially when we talk about China as well. But, cold tires, clipping the curb, unexpected power delivery, like you're getting a plus 100 kilowatt surge. Yikes. I don't want to be in that car when it feels uncontrolled in that moment. And so that did make me have a little more empathy to that situation, because there's just so much like from our perspective that we're not experiencing on their end from a difference from 2025 car to 2026 car. So I find it fascinating because I'm like, what about this is not allowing them to be executed the way that it's supposed to? But at the same time, it's like, I want them out there, I want them racing,
Yeah. Also, I want competition. I want the Mercedes boys to have real competition. So I think without having the McLarens in the races so far and in the running, I'm kind of like, I will say Ferrari has been an unexpected boost of competition, but I also miss having Papaya up front racing with my turquoise. Like what you know what I mean? Like the competition, the rivalries are so much fun, and when the cars won't start, it's kind of like, can we lock in, guys? Can we lock in? Because when
yes, and especially last year, because it obviously you had Red Bull's always in the mix, but like Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes right up in there, and then now it's like Red Bull, Papaya struggling, and Mercedes, Ferrari having their moment, and Mercedes was obviously still strong last year, but the dominance is taking over. But it's like, I want all four to be in the mix there because it makes for good racing. I do have to say, like Max fighting from the back of the grid after the mechanical issue in qualies, like the fact that he finished P6, and
He's insane.
He's
Is
insane.
and he's in a trash car.
Also, only 16 drivers finished in the Australian Grand Prix. And then I
Messy.
think only 17 drivers finished in China. And so now we've seen just a small trend of potentially what could be, just of like the amount of cars that are not finished. I mean, 22 are starting, we're supposed to, and they drop quick once we get to the starting line. So I think that's something to keep an eye on too.
Oh yeah, no, and that's where also I'm like, from the frustration side of things, where it's like we want them out there, we want to see them be able to go at it, but definitely good point to keep an eye on it for Japan. Also, I this is probably my last thought about Australian Grand Prix, because I will be keeping my eye on Arvid Lindblad. Is that how you say it? I have been trying to practice his name, but the rookie.
No, I think you're right. Yes.
Like, is it
Arvid
Lindblad or
Lindblad, because he's BLAD.
Lindblad?
Lindblad. But like, Dad and I at one point are like tapping each other's arms because we were just shocked. We're like, okay, impressive.
Right.
You finished P8. I'm like, you finished in points. Like, that's huge for your first race in F1. So, anyways, that's probably my final thought on.
And in V-Carb, too. Like, being with the Racing Bulls, like, I think that's impressive on both ends.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, huge.
I love it when the rookies show out. You guys know I have a soft spot for my rookies.
Also, Aston Martin is like my, like, mistress team. That, like, nobody
That's a
knows
choice.
That
about.
description.
But, like, nobody knows about it. I do not talk about it often, except for this space. Like, I'm not going to openly be like, I am an Aston Martin fit. You know. No, this is very on the DL. But I love Adrian Newey, so of course I'm, like, in secret following Aston Martin and everything that's going on there, because what the heck? Like, let's be so, like, for real. How is, like, literally one of the best engineers that has ever worked in Formula One struggling right now?
Yeah, their car is like
Obviously.
electrocuting their drivers.
Their car is, like, practically undrivable, which, like, I'll get into momentarily. But, first thing, the news, Adrian Newey stepping down as team principal, literally solely to focus on the car. I think, such a mature decision to make, especially if you have somebody that can come in and run that team principal position. But also, like, the fact that their engineers have been almost, like, useless without him. Like, if they get to Japan and this car is, like, really good, and it's because Adrian Newey had his hands on it more focused, I'm gonna laugh. And then I'm also not gonna be so stressed out because I feel bad. Like, I love Fernando Alonso so much. Notice that's the only one that I said that I loved, okay? Let's just be very aware of that.
She's like Fernando Alonso and Adrian Newey, and the line stops there.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
sorry, before you keep tying deeper into that, I will say, when the news came out about that, I wasn't as shocked as I thought that I would be. I mean, we always knew
Agreed.
going into this that it was going to be more temporary, right? Because where does he shine? In
Behind
designing the
scenes.
fastest F1 cars. Like, that is what he is good at. That is what he is known for. And so it's almost like you're trying to have this genius technical F1 creator himself, like, do too
Right.
much. And I think they just caught it earlier than expected. That would be it's like, I thought we were going to get through more than maybe 2 races, but it's too urgent for them to not have him prioritize the thing that he's so gifted at.
Right. Right. And like, to go off of, like, what Kynley was saying too, of like Fernando Alonso at one point is talking about, like, hey, like, the car is vibrating so bad that, like, it's physically harming me. Like, I can't finish the race in like, these conditions. It's I believe it's a Honda engine.
That's correct.
I am okay. And I don't know. It's just a struggle on performance side of things. It's a struggle on the reliability side of things. And I honestly don't even think they're trying to compete. Like, when you're looking at, like, kind of these interviews, it's more of like, hey, we're just trying to know more about the car, so then we can take the next right step. I don't think Aston Martin is anywhere, and I don't necessarily know why they're so far behind or why they can't get even, like, finish a race.
Finish at all.
Finish whatsoever.
Cross the finish line.
Right. And so I don't know. I just think they're trying to see what they can get and then try to make a better car of it, but it makes me sad they're not competing, and I don't know how much more Fernando Alonso wants to keep working with such a midfield car. If not a midfield car, we're so out of the midfield. Aston Martin is not in the midfield anymore.
Wait, I love that you brought it up because it's definitely been on the radar. But thoughts about this, because obviously with Jonathan Wheatley,
Oh, I know, becoming team principal.
that's the rumor on the street, right? Is him sliding into that position at Aston Martin.
For those of you who don't know, Jonathan Wheatley is currently the team principal for Audi, and there's rumor that he's going to take the place of team principal at Aston Martin.
Yeah, and technically now he's not even an active team
Guys,
principal at Audi.
Yeah, it was effective. It was effective immediately, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so we'll see what the timeline looks like for that transition. But I know I was kind of excited about that because I have some more respect for Jonathan. I think the comparison of the way that he runs team principal versus the way that Flavio does at Alpine is worth paying attention to. I'm like, look at how encouragement and yes, still challenging and still holding a leadership position that stimulates refinement. Yes. But Flavio, it's a different time, buddy. Like, he's still in the tear down, blame everything on the driver component.
Flavio is rage bait. I'm going to be so for real. And we'll get into it more, I think, with the Drive to Survive episodes. But, like, I don't have a lot of respect for him in the way he treats his drivers, especially because as much as we want to put all of the... I think the fans may have, like, an issue with this, too, like the toxic fans, not, like, the normal fans who enjoy the sport, but, like, the ones who get, like, it's ride or die, life or death. Kind of like the scary old men who, like, put way too much on the line for college football. Like, their whole day is ruined if their college football team loses. Yeah. It's those fans that blame the drivers when it is more of a team sport than I think a lot of people give it credit for. And I think Flavio sees it that way, where it's like, oh, the driver can't drive the car. And it's like, okay, well, did you give them a good car? Because, like, if things aren't working properly or something doesn't function the way it's supposed to, then it's not always on the driver. So bringing in the difference between those two team principals, I think, is a good point, just because I think there's a lot to be said for, like, supportive. But now what I will say is I do think Jonathan Wheatley may be a little too nice.
I agree
And
sometimes.
I think Flavio's a little too mean, and you need to have, like, a happy medium. And I hate to be
Toto.
that person, but the best example of that is Toto. Like,
It's
really
true.
is.
Wheatley is like totally too kumbaya. Let's hug it out.
It's true.
Let's hold hands and let's all be best friends and tell each other secrets. Obviously, Kynley, like you said, like Flavio's the exact opposite. And I also can agree with the fact that Toto Wolff is probably the best team principal currently on the grid by far.
For sure.
And with Susie Wolff.
It's just power couple. It just
They're a
is.
power couple.
The blend of Jonathan with Adrian, like behind the scenes, is like Adrian can be feisty with the car and Jonathan can help execute. But yeah, he still needs a little bit more of that grit from, like, the leadership component, you know, if they're going to be able to actually make something.
There's a happy medium, because, I mean, like, the drivers even would talk about how they, like, not like we're afraid of him necessarily, but, like, would fear having to go into a meeting with him. Like, we're fearful of how Flavio was going to treat them or respond to them based off how the race went, or, you know, what have you. Also, I feel like some team principals don't give their drivers enough of a chance. So, like, last season, I think Christian Horner did this too when they brought Liam Lawson up, and then after 2 races dropped him back down to Racing Bulls, and it's like, and then he didn't do terrible. Like, he scored points at Racing Bulls. I think sometimes you have to give him a chance to adapt to the car and, like, learn how to use it, especially if you're bringing up, like, rookies or people who haven't driven in these cars. They've only been, like, an F2. So I think part of that is on, like, the lack of patience that the team principals have with putting these drivers into cars. It's like, give them a second, like, let them cook. Good Lord.
Right. No, absolutely. It's
Right.
a patience game while also still trying to push them out there a little bit. China. Let's
Okay, if I don't get to talk about Kimi Antonelli,
Do
I
it.
throw a fit. Okay, great.
do it.
This is my time to shine. My time. I'm just kidding. Kimi Antonelli, my love, my rookie, my star, my wonderful 19-year-old. I'm so proud of him. He absolutely crushed it. I need to talk about my whale tail necklace. So I'm going to tell everyone. Kimi, if you guys, I've actually had one person recognize this on my social media, and they messaged me and they were like, "Is that a Kimi inspired necklace?" And I was like, "You noticed." Anyway, if you see pictures of Kimi, anytime he's not in his racing suit, he has this whale tail like choker necklace on. In almost every picture. If you go to his Instagram, you'll see it. Okay. I saw those pictures, and like way back when, like last season, I was like, I think I have a whale tail necklace just like that from when I was a kid. Unfortunately, I think I purchased it at SeaWorld, which we don't support SeaWorld anymore. But back then, before I knew anything, we went to SeaWorld and I got this whale tail necklace with a K on it because my name is Kynley. And I was like, I think I still have it. I don't think I ever got rid of it. So finally I did before the season started, I did like a deep dive into my like dresser and old jewelry boxes. And I found it. And it literally looks just like his whale tail necklace that he wears. And it has a K on it. So Kynley Kimi. And I was like, that's it. I'm wearing it every day. It's going to be my good luck charm this season. He's not going to know it's our good luck charm, but it's our good luck charm. And I'm going to be honest, I think it may be because P2 in the Australian Grand Prix, P1 in the China Grand Prix, like, what? So anyway, he doesn't know that it was because of this necklace, but
You
it
are
was.
the reason.
I'm the
You
reason.
are the reason. You're his very close personal friend with a matching friendship necklace. So.
We have, my very, very close personal friend, Kimi Antonelli. He and I are matching necklaces. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very proud of the fact that I had a necklace. I like whatever invisible string. Oh, also, Kimi and my boyfriend have the same birthday. So.
Wait, okay, Kynley, I didn't know that. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yes, it's August 25th.
August, man. I tell you, the best things happen in August.
I know it. So I'm just saying, whatever invisible string has been tying me to Kimi Antonelli my whole life without me knowing it. Like when I was 6 years old at SeaWorld and I was like, I need that whale tail necklace. And my parents were probably like, why does she want a whale tail necklace? It was because I was going to be a 24-year-old Kimi Antonelli fan. And we were going to have matching whale tail necklaces.
Honestly, that's cinema to me. So I love everything about that.
The plot. Anyway, it's been a win for my Mercedes boys in both races. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be like the championship being a close race between George and Kimi, but I'm at a point now where I think it may actually be very possible that my boys are competing like Papaya last year, which is stressing me out a little bit because I'm not sure I want them to be battling it out. I'm a little bit worried that George would have a lot of, maybe he wouldn't be, like, publicly resentful, but I feel like being on the grid as long as he has and then having this rookie come in and, like, swoop a world championship out from under him. Like, I think, and Toto talks about it back when it was, back when they had two drivers in the competition. What season was that? That was eons ago, it feels like.
Are you talking about Lewis and Valtteri or
I thought it was
Lewis
it was,
and
the other one?
I know, the blondie. Well,
Yes.
I'm having a moment.
Nico?
Thank you.
Yes. Lewis and Nico, and Toto talks about how difficult that was for the team, like for everyone, and having to like deal with the like in-house rivalry. So I wasn't expecting that this season, but based off the first two races, I think it's definitely more of a possibility than I think I gave it credit for, because Kimi's really showing out in the car.
But I could totally see George being a little dramatic about the situation.
George is dramatic about everything. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and I totally see the point of being like, yeah, I'm a little nervous about this because it's Kimi's second year and he's already had his first podium. Like that's kind of insane when you look at that timeline. But I will say, like I think, yes, it's credit to Kimi's driving, but it's credit to the fact that he's with Mercedes. And then it's also credit to the fact that he's still a rookie. So it's like he learned last year's car, but didn't know it the same way that a lot of these other like long-term veteran drivers have. And I think it's the same thing like Ollie Bierman, who has like 100% points, is currently fifth in like drivers championship, is absolutely killing it. Go Ollie Bierman, love him. But it's like you see these rookie drivers doing really well, and I genuinely think it's because they had to learn last year so quick, that like this year they have to learn this quick, and the veteran drivers aren't used to that, and it's harder for them to forget a habit than it would be for the rookies.
I think that's a really great point, actually, and I didn't even I guess really think about it that way, that the veterans would have a very learned idea of the cars, whereas the rookies don't. It's basically everyone's rookie season again, but like who's good at being a rookie, and it's the new kids on the block still. Which may also be why
Arvid.
Yes,
That's
doing
exactly
as
where I was going with that. Yes.
I think it absolutely
exposure.
is. I think it absolutely is, and I think Kimi's doing so well, like in my opinion, better than the other rookies. Yes, partially because he's a better driver, but I also think it's a lot because Mercedes is such a good team, and Mercedes has been a good team as a whole. I mean, Kimi Antonelli's race engineer was Lewis Hamilton's. Hello.
Yeah, but you still got to put someone in the car who knows how to like use it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not doubting that whatsoever, but I'm just saying that like Mercedes operations compared to Haas operations are obviously very different and not on the same scale. So I think yes, Kimi is a phenomenal driver. Do I think he is Ayrton Senna reincarnate? Yes, I do. 110%.
True.
My Senna hat.
So true. Represent. And we'll give him the credit he deserves, because Kimi's the youngest to do this. He broke Sebastian Vettel's, nearly 18-year-long streak of being the youngest to have pole. And so we'll give him the credit, but definitely he's got the backing and the support system from the technical side and from the encouragement side, honestly.
Moving on.
China. Great. Oh, wait, we already switched to China.
We're talking to China.
We're in China.
Holy crap, Ferrari. Oh my gosh. Lewis Hamilton.
Dude.
First podium with Ferrari. Probably the best podium that I've seen in a minute, just because I love Toto Wolff. And I love when he got to see all three of them up there, and he's making the comments about they're all three are Mercedes, and
his sons.
Yeah, he just has so much respect for Lewis, and you can just tell that there isn't this he went to another team. It's just there's just love for him, and I appreciate that so much. But also, he is 1 for 26, podiums to race weekends. So he went 26 race weekends with Ferrari with 0 podiums.
Dude.
26, I think is absolutely crazy for the GOAT himself. And so I think it was really amazing to see him back up there again as a Ferrari fan. It makes me obviously feel really hopeful, especially because Charles looks great too.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was good to honestly see both of them up there on podium for both races. We got Char for one and Lewis for the other. My Mercedes boys on top. I can't lose, guys.
But it is crazy because even though it's they're putting out and they're showing the potential of the car, there's still a 25-second gap, behind George. And so it's that's just what's so crazy. It's oh my gosh, we're delivering, but there's a 25-second gap. This is wild. What did Mercedes put in their car this year? And I do think that...
Did you guys see, this dropped today, that their car is currently under investigation because of their front wing for like overtake mode, that it was supposed to be 4/10 of a
Is it weight
whatever.
thing?
And no, it's like a depth thing. It's like the depth of when the front wing like drops down. And apparently I think it's too low,
Oh my.
potentially.
Well, here's what I think is going to be crazy tied into this is because we have, because Bahrain and Saudi Arabia race were canceled, I'm like, there's a whole month for all the teams to be making tweaks. I'm like,
Right.
when does that happen when you're in the beginning of a season
Not
like
the
that?
clock.
Sorry for the chimes, you guys.
Right.
Was that
Right.
a little whimsy for the podcast? But
And that's our cue.
But I think that will be exciting because one, I do think that it'll give Ferrari time to be like, okay, like where can we find the revisions? And for me, I'm like, come on, papaya, like let's figure this out. You have a 4 to 5 week window, right, to make something happen before Miami. But
To figure out how to turn the car on. Can we figure out how to turn the car on?
Speaking of McLaren, double DNFs, not F.
DNS.
Double DNS.
Girl, because we did not start. Exactly. You read my mind.
Because he didn't
That's rage
start.
bait.
First time, fun fact, the first time this has happened since 2005
I know.
for McLaren. 2005, since they did not start. I feel like not starting is just, unfortunately, 10 times more embarrassing than not finishing.
Correct, because you couldn't even get off the start line. We couldn't even.
Are you guys, like, secretly Ferrari? Did you guys, like, switch pit walls? Is that what happened?
Yeah, confused.
Because we're getting a little too lucky over here. I'm getting scared.
And my papaya heart is still hurting. Week
Right.
2, my papaya heart is still
Right.
hurting.
It's okay. We're gonna run it back, hopefully for Japan, and it's gonna be great. I hope we see some orange out there because I'd love some more rivalry contenders chasing down.
Some more competition.
Yeah, I want some
Absolutely.
more competition. It's just more fun that way. It's more fun when I'm like on the edge of my. I mean, like we're watching these races at 2 a.m. You got to keep me awake, guys. You got to do something to keep me awake. Okay.
Right.
So true.
I don't have time to be like, and George is 38 seconds ahead of everyone else. And it's like, okay, well, I guess
and
I'll
that
go to
was the thing.
sleep.
See, that's the thing. Dad was giving me crap about, oh, she falls asleep. Then, yeah, because Max Verstappen is 40 seconds ahead of the next driver.
And then, Kelsey, like what we were talking about in New York, ASMR. It's ASMR.
It's ASMR at that point. Like, yes, the V6 hybrid engine.
Chef's kiss.
The only
It is.
ASMR Kelsey likes.
No,
Precisely.
literally, that and rain. That and rain are the two things. But
It's like white noise.
Yeah, no, I'll put on old races all the time, and I get through like maybe the first 5 to 7 laps, and then knock.
I do that with hockey games. Because I like the sound of like the blades on ice and then like the clicking of the puck and the stick. Oh, that's so nice.
It is. It's crisp. It's crispy. You know?
Crispy.
That's
Okay,
so
other
fair.
thoughts about China. I will say Alpine finishes. Colapinto. He got more points than he did all of last year. So good on Franco.
Pierre Gasly, I love you.
Flavio was probably less angry.
7 for Pierre.
Pierre Gasly,
Our cotton candy
The
Frenchman.
Frenchman. The Peace.
cotton candy Frenchman.
Love it.
I love Alpine's driver. I loved Franco Colapinto when he was at Williams. He is so precious little angel baby, and I think he's so funny too. Like his team radios crack me up.
Like, unironically.
Right.
Hamilton's are always so funny too. Sorry, you said that and it made me think of when they like tried to say something to Hamilton and he was like, just let me drive, mate.
Right. You know what really this is back to Australia, but really got me is when they got on George Russell's comms after he won and said, "You ripper!" I was like,
That was so good.
You ripper?
yes.
That was actually hilarious. Kelsey, I'm so glad you
Guys, I
reminded us of
literally
that.
almost peed my pants when I heard it
I
because
know,
George is
that
over
was
here
so
like
funny.
making his yabba dabba doo sounds or whatever, and then you hear you whipper, and I was like, oh, if that is not the most British thing I've ever heard in real time, oh my gosh. Yeah,
I will say,
absolutely.
George had me real scared that he wasn't going to T-pose, and he threw it up there finally. I was
It looked
very
so
worried.
fruity. Oh my
Dude, I
gosh.
literally love it so much. I'm afraid he's gonna like get rid of it because he's gotten so much backlash for it. But like the George Russell fans love it, and like I'm a big fan of his. The tea.
I know. I loved it like in the first moment, and there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, we can mix it up. But I liked that it was more subtle. You know, he did it. I was on
He
podium.
did it right
like, when
before he got
actually-
up on the podium. He got
Yeah.
up there and he like grabbed his thing and he
He
was
like
like,
walked up and went like it was really quick, but
I was so glad he did
I
it. Well,
can do
honestly, because like I like it when they keep like sentimental memes that like the fans have created
For
and
sure.
like continue on with it because then it's like, you know, like mix it up, but also like the people give the people what they want, and the people want the
Right.
T pose. Okay, Georgie, you hearing me, Georgie? The people want the T pose.
okay, last but not least, pop culture backslash Drive to Survive, since we're gonna mix the two up just a little bit. Honestly, I say we start with Drive to Survive. What was everybody's favorite episodes?
The one about Kimmy. No, I'm just kidding. Except not really. I have one very big thought about this, and this is like a pop culture thing. Netflix does Lando Norris so
dirty.
dirty.
So dirty.
It actually enrages
What
me.
I don't understand what their issue is with him.
I don't know, but like the very first shot of him is like him popping Advil with water, and they make it like appear like he's like hungover or something, and I'm like, you guys had to keep that in to make him seem problematic or whatever, and it's like, okay, so this is where the hate comes from. It's because this documentary has like villainized him, and I'm like, I thought we left this behind with Lando no wins. Okay, we have grown from this.
Right.
He is
Thank
world
you.
champion now, so I'm
Thank
gonna need
you.
Netflix to like lock in. I'm like, if you're gonna respect frickin' Lance Stroll, you can respect Lando Norris. I don't understand where that's coming from, but it makes me angry.
No, it's so true. And obviously I'm biased, but like parts of my favorite episodes were the moments where I could relive Lando, the good moments, especially so mostly near the end, right? But along with the thought that you just said, I just felt like the soaking in of his win was so minimized. I felt like it was so rushed.
It
And
was
maybe
really
that was just
short.
me.
It was
Yes.
no, it was short. I feel like we came into the 2026 season and everybody was like, "Oh, new cars. Who's Lando Norris?" You know, and then like with him
Yes.
coming in and like not having a good start to the season, like I totally see that. Yes.
Yeah, and when I was sort of watching it, I was like, why are we not like focusing on this more? And or there being, I don't know, and maybe I'm just biased because I just wanted to relive it and to soak it in a little bit longer. But I feel like with previous seasons and when they prioritize Max's wins, it's like a more layered,
Yeah.
long thing. So, what were your other favorite eps? Either one of you guys, or favorite moments?
Mine. Oh, on mine. Obviously, Carlos's episode.
Carlos's was so good.
Carlos
This
is
was good.
Carlos is like obviously because whatever, but like also because it was good. Like
It was actually good.
it
His episode was the one with the Lego race, right? Where they actually showed the Lego race.
yes.
That actually is I don't know if I have like a favorite episode. I have more like favorite moments, and I
Oh,
just love
easily
everything
that.
about the Lego race. Like anytime they put clips of it, but I think his was the episode where they actually showed the clips of the Lego race, and I honestly am just honored to have witnessed it live.
We
Oh,
witnessed it live, you guys.
I
Like,
saw it live.
it's so fun because the boys, they still talk about it, you know? And I think when
And I'm like, we were there. Oh,
We
we
were literally-
we were there.
I like have videos of the Lego race that I took on my phone
yes.
in real time.
When they've all talk about how that was their favorite driver's parade, I'm like, it's going to
Oh,
be hard
yeah.
for them to have a parade that
Beats the Lego
that
parade.
beats the Lego parade. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Will
such a
never
good
be
moment. That was so good.
That's a great one. I love that they show it. Just I like seeing the drivers' personalities and like camaraderie when they're not all like fighting each other or like drama about something. And the Lego race was really bonding for them, I think.
It was really good. And it,
Sorry. Wow, he's really good.
well, because I was trying to figure out how I wanted to go back to
That's
my
just where I
topic
went.
because you completely got me off of my topic.
I'm sorry.
But anyways, I was just saying that I've loved Carlos's like transparency throughout the entirety of the process, going from like Ferrari and like talking about, hey, like that hurt, but like I had a lot of good memories. But I also trust James Vowles with my life. I think I've said that before, and I'll say it again. And I think they cover that really well at Williams. They make Williams look like that there's actual like progress being produced out of their operations. And so that just makes me excited for this year. And I know it's been a little bit of a rough start, but that's a team that I'm like genuinely looking at and being like, okay, yeah, I can see you guys. Like, you still have a long way to go, but when you get there, like, you're just gonna get there. And so I like that they got to cover Williams, and I love Alex Albon. Like, I feel like if I had to pick, like, the most wholesome team, it's gonna be Williams. Because I feel like they're just sophisticated, they're laid back, they care, but it's not life or death, but it's not, I don't know. I like Williams, and I'm glad that we got to see their storyline, and, like, kind of their episode with Carlos, so.
Yeah, the layers of that I just thought were solid. It just gave and I just love when they give James Vowles the mic. And like anytime
Oh,
that
agreed.
he just genuinely for multiple reasons, like of course we love him. There's that softness to him, but also like I just feel like he's brilliant at the same time. But there is something so calming about his presence. And
Agreed. Do you have a favorite episode?
literally mine was just reliving Lando's win.
Right.
Like I'm boring with that, but like I just like I was literally smiling the entire time, and I still got baby tears in my eyes. And also seeing his mom again, like specifically his mom, and that moment where she has his hands on his helmet, and she's just right there soaking in the presence with him.
And then
I
she
cried.
goes, "Let me see your eyes." Every
Let
time
me
she goes,
see
"Let
your
me see your
eyes.
eyes."
I sob every time. I'll never get tired of that. So that
She
was
literally makes me
easily,
weep.
yes.
That's sweet.
So good. I definitely, I mean, obviously I loved kind of Kimi and George together, but honestly, like the most enjoyable part of this season was getting my boyfriend hooked on it and watching him like learn the drivers for the first time, because that is funny. It's like watching the whole season with someone who didn't watch any of the races and like didn't know who was going to win and didn't know like how anything ended. And it's like when you wish you could like read a book or like watch a movie for the first time again. That's what I feel like when you like show someone who's never seen it before, that part of it, and then watching like kind of who they gravitate towards based off like Drive to Survive. So that was really fun for me because I felt like I was watching the races again for the first time.
I know it's fun when you know the ending, but you get to experience it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because
Because I'm sitting there like, I know who wins. And he's like, oh my gosh, go. Wait, he's in the barrier. And I was like, yeah, and then I had to make sure not to spoil it which I did multiple times. Because he made some comment about Yuki. And it was like, I knew in the next race it was going to be Yuki's big crash. And I was like, oh, just you wait. And he was like, really? And I was like, sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, we can do like brief commentary on Shar and Alexandra's wedding. Classy, elegant, the lilies, like
The dog.
the dog.
Leo Leclerc having his moment.
I loved the vintage film with Olivia Dean overlaid with it. Obviously, the Ferrari itself, like them driving off, cinema. That's really all I have to say about it. It was just beautiful, classy
It was
start to
magical.
finish.
Yeah.
I just think
I
they're
love that they
precious.
did it like in their own, like it wasn't super publicized, like, so.
It was just sweet. It was just sweetness.
Sorry to change the subject. Someone on our YouTube channel said something about the cat coming to make opinions. He's here. He's here to give his opinions on the lore.
Hi,
Padfoot or
Padfoot.
Tulf? Is it Padfoot?
It's a
Hi,
Padfoot.
Predictions for Japan. Couple
George
things.
and Kimi won too.
I will say
Um,
qualifying heavy track, so how they perform in qualies is going, I think, to transfer over to the position that's going to take place on race day. It's hard to overtake on that track.
I think Charles Leclerc, Kimi, Lewis.
Love it.
Yours?
Love it, love it, love it. I vote Kimmy Lewis Shar.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Kimi Lewis Shaw is amazing. I'm
Love
gonna
it.
go Kimi Georgie Shaw.
Kimmy and Georgie Shar. Yeah, because high speed stability track, aero efficiency, Mercedes has been killing that, but I want to see Ferrari do something magical.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, loves.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Slipstream Sisters. We'll be circling back after probably the next Japan, the next race, since we're gonna have a little bit of a break before we hit Miami. So we'll cover that and any drama that happens in the meantime, I reckon.
Absolutely.
But until then, I'm gonna wear this whale tail necklace and call it a night.
And I will say, if you guys want to keep up with us anywhere else, we're on Spotify podcasts and also Apple Podcasts. And you can subscribe to YouTube channel, also at the Slipstream Sisters, as well as our Instagram, which is same at Slipstream Sisters. So come check us out, see the other things that we're doing visually and within the sport. We're happy you're here. And
That's the checkered flag.